to somebody who doesn't have CF, what does it feel like when you have a lot of mucus in your body?
Terrible. Just terrible.
How does it feel though? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel like, tell me what, like, do you feel happy or sad when you have a lot of mucus?
Sad. Because as if I get too much mucus, I could have thrown up.
Right. And does it make it hard to breathe?
Yes.
It does? What makes it feel better when it's hard to breathe?
Nothing.
Cystic fibrosis is not asthma. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease that you inherit both genetic mutations from your parents. So Charlie has both my mutation and Mike's mutation, and that's why he has CF, and it's in every cell in his body. And what it means is that his cell can't take out the trash. So if this is a cell and you and I have an opening and your excretory system makes sure all of that salt and gunk is leaving your system, that's how our system works. And it goes into our excretory system and leaves your body. For Charlie, it gets stuck. And so the only way to get it out of him is to beat the snot out of him, literally, so that comes out. So because if you've ever had a cold and you have a layer of mucus in you, you're going to grow stuff and it's going to make you sicker unless you get rid of it. And so that's what we're trying to do. And it's not just a lung disease. It affects, that's the most sensitive part of your body where this happens, but it also affects, for Charlie, his pancreas. So he can't produce the enzymes he needs to break down food. So we give him pancreatic enzymes with his meals and his snacks so that he can break down food into the nutrients he needs. So you can't cure it with a lung transplant. He will not outgrow it. It's not related to my sinusitis. It's in the wolf and the waft of him. When Charlie was 3 months old, he developed a sinus infection. And the reason we knew that is because he could not sleep and he was having a really hard time nursing. And he looked miserable, but he seemed better during the day because he was up on our shoulders. But then if you laid him down flat at night, he couldn't breathe. And it was a really tough time. And Dr. Sadeghi realized that he had a sinus infection. Us in general, the suction, watching them do the suction, yes, watching them do the respiratory therapy absolutely changed how we feel about air clearance.
Yes.
That I don't think a parent that has been through that with a baby,
yes,
understands how big that is for clearing it. In fact, we went home with a suction machine.
But the thing about it is, Charlie got the snot out of his chest, out of his nasal passages, and he was able to sleep. And because we did that, we are pretty sure that while he was prone, he didn't grow anything.
Right. Well, we know he didn't grow anything,
because he didn't go
but
back.
because he could sleep and then he could eat, because then he gained weight. So those three things are extremely connected. Is the airway and sleep and eating, especially when they're infants, is enormous. After we came back from the hospital, we had to do so much tobramycin, and we were doing the suction machine, that the least thing we had to do was beat our child with a percussor. And one time the movers were coming, and I had Charlie splayed out on the ottoman, and I'm just wailing at him, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" when they came in. And then he was asleep. Charlie was sound asleep because
Slept through the percussor.
But you can't be afraid. Like Mike's right. You can't be afraid of the percussor, and you can't be afraid of air clearance, and you can't be afraid of saying, "I got to get this mucus out of my kid."
Yes.
Um,
Knock the snot out of him.
right. That is
Knock
your
the snot.
that
It's
is your
your
job.
Both sides?
Mhm.
Charlie, what would you say to a little kid who had cystic fibrosis?
There are clinical trials, and the clinical trials are medicines that can make the cystic fibrosis a lot easier.
Are you in a clinical trial right now?
No, but I'm hoping to be, and when it's time, I can join it.
Yes. And what do you think is going to happen after the clinical trials?
There's going to be a cure
Why do you think that?
because I heard it's a type of drug that can help stop the cystic fibrosis, and I'm really hoping for that.